Okay. It says I'm live. I don't know if I'm actually live. That was interesting because I was like, okay, I have to wait 24 hours before I go live. So then I went to click go live, and then it said that I had to have Chrome. And so then I downloaded Chrome, and that took me like 15 minutes to download Chrome. So I did that, and then it said that I had to oh my gosh, it's not as simple as they make you think that it's going to be to go live. That was interesting. I have my coffee, which is cooling down because my coffee cup, normally it's got colors on it. I've been sitting here that long trying to go live and figure out how to do it. It's so funny. So welcome to my very first YouTube live. Technology and me do not get along. Please say hi. Tell me where you are watching from. And what do you guys want to talk about today? We're just going to kind of hang out and have coffee and chat. The kids are getting lunch right now. And let me see, what have we done today? I'm trying to think. We went to church this morning. Oh, tiny humans are coming upstairs. No, you're fine, Cass. Don't worry about it. Hi, Tanya. How are you? Oh, Idaho. I've been to Idaho a couple of times. Let me see. I want to say maybe 3 times. We went to, I can't remember where we went. We went a few times. We were looking at buying property or a house in Idaho for a long time, but then it ended up not happening. We ended up here in Wisconsin. Oh, Wausau. You're not far from us. We're actually just north of Wapaka. I was thinking about doing a meetup here in Wisconsin. I just haven't figured out when. Oh, the UK. Yeah, you're a little bit further away. Yeah, just a little bit. Florida. I used to live in Florida too. Long time ago, my ex-husband was stationed in Florida, up at Panama City is where we lived, at Tyndall Air Force Base. That was before the big giant hurricane wiped everything out. Who was it? Was it Matthew that wiped out that base over there? We were there for Katrina though. That was one of the weirdest sensations ever. Like the rain was literally going sideways. Oh, California. Yeah, I've got a couple Californias. Yeah, we lived in Fairfield, California. I was there for 14 years, I think. A long time. Oh, from Canada. It's a whole lot colder up there, isn't it? I mean, I think so. I would think so. The more north you get, the colder it gets. It's like 15 degrees outside right now. It's not fantastic. Oh, my phone is yelling at me right now that someone just signed into my Google account from a new device. It's me. It's all good. South Texas. Oh, it's much warmer down there, I would think. It's so cold up here right now. So what do you guys want to talk about? You can ask questions, or we can just pick a topic to ramble on about right now. Yes, it's very cold. My coffee is pretty cold. Oh, just in case y'all ever travel, we found it's like this little dipstick, basically. You plug it into your car in the cigarette lighter adapter. If it's even called a cigarette lighter adapter anymore, I don't even know what it is. You plug it in there, and the coil gets really hot, and you put it down in the liquid of whatever it is, and you can warm up your drink while you're driving. That was a lifesaver, because I don't even know how many times we were like, okay, we should probably stop and try to find a microwave at a gas station or something. So we got that, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Okay, I've been reading labels a lot lately. What do you recommend for lotion? Nisha was just talking about this yesterday on her live. I was going to go live right after her, and then YouTube threw me that monkey wrench. So they said, by far, the best lotion is tallow lotion, like beef tallow, but it's not the same as the stuff that you're cooking. So she suggested a couple of different ones. So Google like tallow lotion, and you should be able to. I'm going to Google tallow lotion right now and see what I can come up with. Tallow lotion. Let's see who pops up first. Grass-fed tallow balm. Batco? I don't know. So I would look and, like you said, check the ingredients on everything. So if anyone has a tallow lotion that they really like, stick it in the chat. We use coconut oil, but now I really kind of want to try tallow lotion now that I've heard everyone talking about how amazing it is. I do coconut oil to take off my makeup, and I don't do anything else after that. It just kind of leaves enough of a sheen on there that it moisturizes my skin. So I've never really tried anything like that. Even in the winter, we usually are okay with our skin. When we burn our wood burning stove, we put a humidifier, like it's just a big cast iron kettle pot on top so that the moisture can kind of boil off. And that seems to help, but I really want to try some lotion. My favorite oil company is called Hopewell Essential Oils. They have an entire line of lotions. I don't know what they're all made out of. Most of the stuff that they have seems to be pretty good. So now I'm curious. I'll have to go check that out. But it actually should be down below on the replay on this, down in the description. It's just hopewelloils.com, I think. And I have an affiliate link down there. So if anyone wants to go click and look and see what they have. Vaseline. Let me tell you, I have this love-hate relationship with Vaseline because Vaseline is so bad for you because it's petroleum based, but sometimes nothing else works like Vaseline. So I think that's going to be one of the, like, we use it when the kids get sick. Sometimes the oils aren't enough and I will go get the Vicks. So we don't use it super often, but that's probably like one of the last things that I'm going to actually ever give up. So foods low in oxalates. Okay. If you go to, I'm going to have to find it. Let me find it real quick. There's a huge page, lowoxalate.info. And this is, I'm going to say her name wrong, no matter what I do. It is Susan Owens, I want to say. She's been doing this for like 20 plus years. So if you go to lowoxalate.info, they have a huge, it's over here on the left, it says recipes and food list. So it's got like 177 of the top oxalate containing foods in a spreadsheet. Now it goes way down past 177. So don't just like scroll to the very bottom because it'll just go on forever. So it's around 177 is the last one. They will give you the top 177 oxalate containing foods. So whatever's not on that list is good. For us, for veggies, we do lettuce or like iceberg or romaine. All the lettuces are pretty much okay. Bell peppers are not bad. They do not have a lot. Tomatoes actually aren't that bad. Tomato sauce has a lot more oxalates in it because it's concentrated, whereas the tomatoes, like real tomatoes, have like 7 oxalates. So it's really not a whole lot. Squash is good. Winter squash is really good. Cucumbers are good. I'm trying to think. Sally has said some stuff, and then on there they talk about replacing your old oxalate foods. Like celery apparently has a lot of oxalates in it. So try to stay away from the celery, replace it with the cucumber. I'm trying to think. Of course, nuts and seeds are all really big no-nos. Almonds are one of the worst offenders. Cashews, I think, are like right underneath that. My poor Bella, she only wants like oxalate foods. She wants raspberries and she wants cashews and she wants everything. And I'm just like, honey girl, please. That child would be plant-based if I let her. She is my difficult, fun child. I love her. Coconut oil and Vaseline. CeraVe, yeah, Nisha found some of that. I've never tried that. I think my mom was using Cetaphil a long time ago. So that's another one. I don't even know if it's good now. I haven't looked at it in so long. Chocolate. Yes, chocolate is high in oxalates. Tea is very high in oxalates. Coffee is not though. So that's good. The way, I don't know if you guys have heard this story. The way that they tested coffee is that they took dry powdered instant coffee. They took an entire cup of it and then just put a little bit of liquid into it and then tested that. Well, when you drink that coffee, you don't do a cup of the dry powdered coffee to a little bit of liquid. So I thought that was kind of funny. So coffee is good. Just be careful with the almond milk. I use coconut milk now, just to give it a little bit of cream. So I put an egg in here with a little bit of coconut milk. I switched over. And that seems to be exactly what I want. Sometimes I'll do sweetener, sometimes I won't. It just kind of depends. Chocolate. You can switch over to white chocolate. I mean, I know it's not the same. It's not even the same. I'm developing a taste for white chocolate now, but I think my hardest thing right now to get over is actually keeping in some more of the oxalate foods so that I don't dump too fast. Because now that I know about all the oxalate foods, I want to cut out everything. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose of doing it slowly. So I actually have been doing chocolate. I'll do some of the Lily's chocolate chips, or the Element, the chocolate salt drink. I'll do that as well, just to try to keep more of the oxalates up so that I don't overdump. And then I've started upping my dairy too. So I have gained a little bit of weight because of it, but I would rather have a little bit of the inflammation and the water retention from the carbs in the dairy and then have extra calcium for the oxalates that I'm dumping to be able to bind to and then shuttle themselves out. So it's kind of a catch-22. Okay, so the skinny syrup, if I missed anything, I'm going to try to go back. Wait, I'll get to the skinny syrup. And make sure, okay, seriously, chocolate is my Achilles heel too. Oh, I'm with you. Okay, what is a good site for a list of low carb and sugar-free foods for a friend? That is so funny. I'm trying to think. We've been talking about making up a list and we haven't done it yet, but I think we really need to. I do not worry about the carbs in meat or eggs or even dairy, really. And the reason I don't worry about it is because it's from an animal. Just like, did you know that there's trans fats in meat and dairy and eggs? But it's a different kind of trans fats. It's slightly different. The molecular structure is just a little bit different. So it doesn't act the same in the body as the man-made trans fats. Those ones in meat and butter and eggs aren't nearly as toxic, I guess, to our bodies. So I talk about all the time about tracking total carbs. I wish that there was a way in Carb Manager for you to be able to turn on like track carbs in this food and don't track carbs in this food, because I don't track it in like scallops. If I'm going to eat scallops, I'm going to eat scallops, and I'm not going to keep it down to a certain number of carbs. I'm going to eat as many scallops as I want to eat. And cheese, I always use cheese as the bling to the outfit, never the whole outfit. You know, cheese should never be a meal of its own. And so I don't count the carbs from that either. So I always tell people start with meat and eggs and anything from the animal kingdom. just you control yourself with the dairy. And then after that, to add in the veggies that are the lower carb. That would be the lettuces. Stay away from the spinach. Oh my gosh. And then almonds, if you're going to, again, with the oxalates, if you count total carbs, almonds are actually pretty high in carbs because they say that the fiber cancels it out. I just say stay away from that completely. All fruit when you're first starting out is not a good idea because especially if you're diabetic, if you have healing to do, you're going to want to stay away from all of the sweet fruits, especially. You can do some cucumbers and some tomatoes. Technically, they're both fruits. I think I can't even keep up anymore. I think they changed it back and forth a couple of times. So you can do but always count your carbs from vegetables. Carb Manager is my favorite app by far. And even if you don't track anything, you can have Carb Manager and you can just go in there and say, 1 cup of cucumber, and it'll tell you how many carbs are in it. So then you'll start to learn what's a carb, what's not a carb, all of that. So hopefully, I don't know about a list of low carb foods. I think I need to work on that. That's probably what I should work on. I thought about, okay, now skinny syrups for coffee. Here's my deal. These keto sweeteners that we have, erythritol and allulose and stevia and monk fruit, they've not been around for a super long time. And they are still a processed food. The skinny syrup, I believe, has, if it's not aspartame, then it's sucralose in it. Those have been around for a little bit longer, but they're still processed. They're still not natural. We know that those ones aren't great for us. If you're going to use it once in a while, like maybe 1 cup a day or 1 cup a week, a couple cups a week, like I'll go to a coffee shop and I will go and get a sugar-free syrup from the coffee shop. Is it fantastic? No, not even close. But my body is also able to handle it if I do it. Usually it's like once a month that I'll go and do that. So if it's going to lead you down a path of where you want more and more and more of it every single day, then that can be a problem. I do not know what these keto sweeteners are going to do to our bodies long term. And I do know some people that the keto sweeteners or the skinny syrups are a trigger for, and they are just as addicted to those as they were to sugar. And I don't ever want anyone to think that the keto sweeteners are healthier. And so it's okay to still consume as much of those as you used to consume of your sugar. Because in reality, we do not know. Allulose, all the allulose that I have ever been able to get is made of corn. Corn is the most GMO'd crop on the face of the planet. And no matter which way you look at it, it's processed. It came from something that is not keto. So just because it doesn't affect your blood sugar doesn't necessarily mean it's safe. So I use the allulose in my bread, but I don't eat the bread every single day. I maybe once a week will eat the bread, and I put it up on YouTube. I make it for people to give them ideas for transitions or for their kids. Because the way I look at it, I would rather my kids eat the PSMF bread or my cinnamon buns or something else that seems to be right now a whole lot less bad and less harmful to their bodies, and still get their sweet, still be able to enjoy that, because I've seen it before and I've experienced it with some of the older ones that were with us for just a little while. The more restrictive I keep the kids about, you're going to eat only meat and vegetables, you're not going to have any sweeteners, you're not going to do any of that. When they get on their own, they swing way far the other direction. And then they rebel. And then they go to nothing but donuts and macaroni and cheese and all of that. So I'm trying to find the balance with my kids of they still feel like they're eating bread. They still feel like they're eating cinnamon rolls in the morning. It's not as much. I limit how often we do it. We still have ice cream, and it's usually the keto, like the Rebel ice cream, something like that, so that they don't feel like they're deprived, because they have friends and their friends will tell them, "Oh, you're missing out." I can tell my kids 6 ways to Sunday that no, actually you're not. You're healthier and you're saving yourself and it's going to be good. But when you're a little kid and your friends are telling you you're missing out on something, you want that thing. So I'm trying to facilitate it to where my kids can enjoy stuff like that. We were trying to bring in a few pieces of fruit to see how it works. Poor Noah, that kid. Oh my gosh. For being my stepson, he and I have an awful lot in common. He can't do almond flour at all. He cannot do green beans at all. And he also cannot do bananas. I know that they're big sacks of sugar with almost no nutrition in them. But I was like, you know what? I want to do a little bit of an experiment. We're going to see how everyone handles it. Poor Noah. He ate 2 bananas, and 2 days later, he was throwing up. And I was like, there's no way that the bananas, it took that long. But it can take up to like 72 hours for you to have a reaction to whatever food you've consumed. His mom, I told her, I said, yeah, I gave him bananas. She goes, oh, he's going to throw up. I was like, no, he's not. He's fine. It's been 24 hours. She's like, nope, it's coming. It's coming. I thought, no. She was 100% right. That boy was throwing up. I felt so bad. I was like, bud, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I didn't remember. Oh, I felt so bad. My poor little Noah. He's such a hard time. So the question is, can you do the skinny syrups without going overboard? Can you enjoy it as a treat, not have it trigger you to want more and more and more? And do you have any negative side effects from it? Because, I mean, if you want a sweet flavored coffee, go get a sweet flavored coffee. There's been times that we've been driving and I will go through Starbucks and I'll ask for their sugar free and they're like, we're out. And I'm like, okay, fine, then I'll take a full sugar one because I am an adult and I get to choose to do that. It's very rarely. I think I did it once and I was really good for a little while. And then I hit that sugar crash and I felt horrible. So I never did it again. But you're an adult. You get to choose what you want to do. I say if you can control yourself and it hits that sweet spot for you, that it's something enjoyable once in a while, then absolutely go ahead and do your stuff. Okay, let me see. Let me go back and find where I am. What is often sold as white chocolate is made from almond bark. Oh, that's so terrifying. Oh my gosh. Seriously? Why can't anything be sacred anymore? That's just ridiculous. Okay, removing that message because I don't know what that was. You're okay with strawberries in small amounts? I actually can do strawberries. I am doing an experiment trying to bring back in some more carbs. I'm doing some yogurt. I think honey is 100% a no-go. Absolutely. And it's real honey too. No questions asked. It's not Karo syrup honey where they fed the bees Karo syrup and then they just, vomited it back up again. This is real honey from local bees that make it just from the flowers and nothing else. Every time I have honey, I wake up the next morning and I am an emotional mess. I'm done with the honey. I am absolutely done with that. So I'm going to stick with the yogurt and the strawberries every once in a while. I'm keeping it small. I have like 3 strawberries a night to see how I feel and how I'm doing. Honestly, I'm not loving all the trying to add in the carbs. I'm not loving it. I do not feel good. I'm not really enjoying it. Chronometer, I wanted to love it. I really wanted to love chronometer or chronometer. I don't know how you say it. But some of the stuff I'd go to put in there and it would say it either didn't exist or the values would be off. So if you like chronometer, stick with it. Just whatever you're going to track on, be consistent with it so that you're not getting conflicting information. And then you can figure out your baseline, what works best for you. Some people like Carb Manager, some people like chronometer. I don't know how to say it. I really don't. I have heard of using glycine as a sweetener. It's definitely not as sweet you have to use more to get the same sweet taste. But the goal is always to reduce the sweeteners until even the tiniest little bit. I mean, even butter to me sometimes tastes sweet, because when you get rid of so many more of the sweeteners, then you can taste the sweetness of other foods. You would just have to experiment with the glycine. I think that it definitely is a better option because it's an amino acid. So it at least comes from an animal as far as sweeteners go. So I would say try it, and see what you think, if you like it. Oh, we have another weird one. Oh, so fantastic. Oh, carb manager is too complicated. See, everyone's different. I'm thinking about doing a video where I screen record on my phone me doing stuff on how to put in a recipe on Carb Manager so that you can track all the recipes, because I've had a lot of people say, "What are your macros?" Y'all, I love you, but I'm not going to post macros on my recipes. I'm just not, because I keep getting told I'm doing it wrong. And then people say, "Well, I thought you said you were counting total carbs." And if you count total carbs, then the allulose actually adds a lot of carbs. So I encourage everyone to plug it into their own app and then save the recipe. So every time you want to track, you can just go in and find the recipe. So please do that. You have permission to do that. Let me see. Honey is, oh, seriously, a no-no. Let me see. I make my ancestral keto hot cocoa almost every other day and use organic monk fruit extract. It doesn't spike my insulin, cause inflammation, or trigger me. I can't use allulose. Gives you exactly. I love that people can find out what works for them. I actually think monk fruit is one of the sweeteners that I'm the most okay with, because the monks have been using it for literally thousands of years. That's why it's called monk fruit. Although I knew it and then I forgot it and then I remembered it again. In Paul Saladino's book, Carnivore Code, he talks about the fact that indigenous people use stevia as birth control. I'm sure it's dose-based, but that still kind of worries me a little bit about what the stevia is doing to especially my kids' hormones. So we have a lot of stevia because when we go to Trader Joe's, we'll buy a bunch of those. Sometimes they're on sale. I think we're gonna kind of like mix it and not use as much. I think it's dose-based. The kids do not use a lot of it. They pretty much only get 1 cup of lemonade a day, which has the stevia in it. But that just kind of freaks me out that they're using it as birth control. So I wasn't super thrilled when I remembered that. Oh, yeah, bananas are evil. Let me see. Chronometer more accurate. See, just use what you think works for you. I think I'm gonna go carnivore for a month. Cured my carb addiction, and now the keto treats are needed far less often. Yeah, we used to live on those keto treats when we first started, and unfortunately, they were all full of almond flour. Lesson learned. Yeah, please don't do that. It's terrible. Yeah, going carnivore. I highly recommend at some point in time in your life, try 30 days of all-in carnivore. Like, just try it, because I don't even know how many people love it and they feel fantastic. And then I know a lot of people that go, "I don't feel that great." I forced it. I kept it going for like 7 months. And at the end of it, I was not feeling very great, but I wanted to give it the best run possible. I am really not super good at listening to myself and my own body. I always want to make my body do what I want it to do, and it does not like to agree with me. It's very frustrating. No bananas. No bananas. I didn't even try the bananas. I'm not going to try the bananas. I'm afraid of the bananas. If Noah's puking from bananas, I ain't touching the bananas. Someone's someone's school assignment has been graded. My phone is buzzing at me. Do I use sunscreen? No, I do not use sunscreen, and neither do my children. We use surprise, surprise, coconut oil. It was 15 years ago. I heard a friend of ours that was in a homeschool group co-op say she was going to start doing the coconut oil as sunblock on her kids. And I thought for sure she was going to fry her very pasty white babies. I mean, they like German descent, German and something else, so super pale skin. I was like, you are going to burn your kids. And then she explained what you do is the first day of, whenever spring, whenever you guys are going to start going outside, you coat yourself with coconut oil and you go out in the sun for 5, maybe 10 minutes. And then you come inside. Then the next day you repeat it and you do it again for a little bit longer. And you just keep doing that. And then eventually you get to a point where you can apply it once and you can be outside for 5 or 6 hours in the sun and you won't burn because it conditions your skin and it starts to kind of create a nice little lipid layer of protection. Coconut oil doesn't have super high SPF. It's like 6 or something like that, but it allows the vitamin D to come through, whereas sunblock does not. So a lot of the sunblocks, once they're put on, doctors have done blood tests, and 24 hours after the application of sunscreen, there'll be really high concentrations of a lot of those compounds and chemicals in your blood. So if you want to use a sunscreen, I suggest that you find an organic, natural, like mineral sunscreen. Try going that way that maybe has zinc in it. I've made my own. Wellness Mama actually has some lotion sunscreen bars that you can make. They're with coconut oil and shea butter, I think. And then we put zinc powder in it, and a couple other drops of, I don't remember all the stuff we put in it. They're still in my fridge. They've been in there for like 2 years. Because we just end up doing the coconut oil spray, the coconut oil cooking spray, the stuff that I spray on my paper when I make the bread. That is what I spray on my children. And so far, it's always worked. And we would go to Six Flags in California in the middle of summer. I could spray my kids once at the beginning of the trip. And once, like 3 or 4 hours later, I would take the can of coconut oil spray and spray my children down in the middle of the park. Never once have they ever burned. And you've seen these pasty white children with blonde hair and blue eyes, and they don't burn as long as we condition their skin. So that is what we do for the sunscreen. It's worked really well for us so far. We haven't had any problems. Plus, eating the good animal fats helps your body repair its cell layers, all of the lipid layers around the outside with superior oil so that they can stand up to the sun a whole lot better. You'll find that you can like not wear glasses as much, sunglasses, and that the light doesn't hurt your eyes nearly as much. So that is fantastic. Do the eye crystals mess with your eye makeup, or does eye makeup make it worse? I have not found that the makeup affects it. If I don't take off my makeup really well every night, that does seem to kind of like back them up a little bit because I think the makeup is blocking them being able to escape. I go through cycles of where some mornings I'll wake up and my eyes are completely glued closed, and then I'll have other mornings where they're fine. So, and it could have something to do with whether or not I had enough dairy the day before. I'm trying to increase my dairy to up the calcium so that the oxalates have something to bind to be shuttled out of my body. And I think that's the only way that I'm going to be able to up my carbs, because I'm trying a lot of other stuff and it's not going well. So yeah, I don't seem to get the eye crystals during the day. It's only at night. Honey is a no for me. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's what's funny is that I really thought that maybe the honey would trigger my cravings and make me want to go back to eating everything. I am having the hardest time making myself eat any carbs. I can't do fruit. Like, I've tried several different kinds of fruit. I feel like junk. The honey is just so super sweet. It's just, yeah. So I was really happy that it didn't trigger any old nasty monsters inside that made me crave. So I was happy about that. Let me see. What's the weather like where I am at? It's funny. We have almost no snow. Like we have maybe 3 inches on the ground. We're supposed to get another 3 inches here in a couple of days. We had way more snow this time of the year last time. Oh my gosh. So right now it is 12 degrees. It's 12 degrees outside. The low tonight is -1. The wind has not been too bad today. I think the wind is like 4 miles per hour, so not bad. If it gets anywhere upwards of like 8 miles an hour, the wind chill, oh, it just plummets. I think our coldest so far has been like -12 with the wind chill. So it hasn't been too bad. We have 2-inch styrofoam boards up in our windows, the big sliders, because we have old windows, like old farmhouse windows. They're all double pane, but they're kind of old and leaky. So it's really dark in my house right now because all the windows are blocked with all of that to try to keep it out. The rest of the country seems to be getting all of our snow. So, and the Farmer's Almanac said that this was supposed to be the worst winter in a century. Prepare for second-story snow. I'm like, I think it all got shuttled elsewhere because I'm waiting for it and it hasn't hit yet. I have my wood-burning stove so that I'm ready for it in case we end up with an ice storm that kicks off the power. Then we can at least heat up the one room. Yeah, Carissa, keep all the snow. I want my snow. Like my kids are all bummed because they couldn't go sledding hardly at all when they were here. And Cassidy and Noah leave in 6 days. Yeah, it's 6 days. So we have to go drop them off in Illinois in 6 days. It's time for them to go be with their mom for a month. Don't do anything too stressful. Oh my gosh, everyone else got my snow. It's too funny. Yes. I'm being looked at. No bananas. No bananas. Sunny and 47 degrees. Yeah. I would be grounding right now, standing out in the sun with bare feet if it was 47 degrees. Stevia's birth control. Yeah. In Carnivore Code by Paul Saladino, there's a whole little section on indigenous people from, I think, Africa using stevia as birth control. Yeah, so when people say, oh no, I don't know who you are. Someone's trying to call me. And it closed down my computer. So nice. I love it when it does that. I'm going to take my phone in case they try to call back. It was Stevens Point. I don't know who in Stevens Point is trying to call me. Gosh, it did it again. I couldn't even answer it. It like clicked off. It keeps taking my screen down. It's too funny. So yeah. Stevia for birth control. I think plants have a purpose and a place. And I think we need to be careful with them on many, many, many levels. No bananas. No, yes, Jeanette, no bananas. Oh my gosh. That poor kid. He puked. He did finally puke. It took 2 days, but he puked. I felt so bad. I thought maybe the green ones would be okay. No, they were not okay. Cassidy Marie, come here. Isabella Jasmine, come here. The girls can come say hi real quick. Come say hi, tiny humans. Say hi. Hi. Gonna come say hi. You can come over if you want to. You just never want to be on the screen. Ever.
Where are you going live on?
Look, who's that right there?
Hi, Mommy.
That's Auntie Net. Auntie Net. See her name right there? She said, no bananas.
Hi.
No bananas. Oh my gosh. What are you guys doing? Are you cleaning your room?
We just got done with it.
Good job. Why are you being wiggly?
Mommy,
I am live on YouTube. You have to go talk to Daddy about that if you've had protein.
I was gonna use my tips. Well, I tried to find some protein in one of the breads.
One of the breads is not enough. Go find some more protein. Go work with your sister.
Chicken shake protein.
Go talk to your sister.
No.
Go talk to your sister. Go find maybe eat an egg first. I'm telling you, plant-based. That kid would be happy to be plant-based. Oh, more sunlight. Oh, I miss sunlight right now. I need sunlight. I need to fix my circadian rhythm because I could easily sleep until 8 or 9 o'clock every single day and stay up until midnight, 1. Yeah, I need to fix it, but I need sun to be able to fix it. And the sun's not rising right now because it's covered up in the clouds, so it stinks. My mother has been fighting skin cancer for 15 years. Her body is so caught up from the surgeries, so I'm never giving up my sunscreen. What's funny, sunscreen, it's not actually protecting you from the sun, because where a lot of people end up with their cancer is underneath where their clothes are. And so that's not always where the sun is shining. Sometimes it's, down lower, but at least 50% of the time, skin cancer is showing up in places that aren't even exposed to the sun or aren't exposed very often. So the cancer is actually coming mostly from those seed oils, because people's cells are being formed by these inferior seed oil products. And because of that, the mutations are happening and everything is getting deformed. And then the cancer has more to work with because it's an inferior lipid layer. So because my cousin, actually, her husband was battling skin cancer. And for him, it was also in a place that he never took his shirt off, and it's on his shoulder right here. He never wore tank tops. He never took his shirt off. He always was covered. And that is where his skin cancer presented itself. And he was like, that for them was enough proof that it's not from the sun. Making sure your vitamin D level is up is very good. LDL, having a higher LDL level actually can help fight cancer cells. Your immune system, that's what it's supposed to do. So when your immune system is super inflamed, it can't do what it's supposed to be doing. There's Iona mineral sunscreen. Totally works. Oh, okay. Apparently YouTube just caught up because I just got inundated with a whole bunch of messages. So let me see. Hi, Anna. Funny story. On Christmas Eve, I got a thigh cramp that made me cry. Oh, everyone present tried to make me eat a banana. What I'm talking about. Yeah, everyone thought it would help me. No bananas. It probably would have helped you, yes, for the potassium, but also because it would have made you retain so much water, which would have then retained your electrolytes. So it would have helped you, but definitely not in the way that you wanted it to help you. I actually did a whole lot of supplements for a while to manage my cramps, and it only kind of worked. It didn't really work super well. And then they went away. I was taking 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, making sure that I got a lot of salt. I can't take potassium. Every time I take potassium, I get heart palpitations and I get really bad swelling. And my potassium level in my blood is actually a touch high. Always has been. So I can't take potassium. So me and electrolytes, I can do one packet of Element and that's about it. But for a while there, I didn't have them when I was taking the magnesium glycinate, and then they started coming back again. So I decided to try going off of the magnesium, and that actually stopped them. So the thing with the cramps is that it's an imbalance of your electrolytes. Sometimes you need to supplement, sometimes you need to take something away. It's so hard to figure out. You can get tests to tell you, so you don't have to guess. You don't have to try to figure out what's going to work better. We just don't have the ability to do that right now because we're in between everything. People didn't used to get skin cancer. How can the sun be bad? For animals that are meant to be outside most of the time, it's something in the food. I believe it's the seed oils too. They damage your DNA. Yeah, they do. And a lot of these GMO'd products, they're actually showing now that anything that's been GMO'd, because they messed with the DNA of the product itself, when you consume that, the DNA has been altered in the food itself. that then comes into your body and alters your DNA. So the GMO, anything GMO is actually affecting us on a cellular level and causing problems in us too. So stay away from the GMOs as much as possible. Carrot seed oil. Yes, carrot seed oil and raspberry oil with the coconut. Yes, that's actually the two things that were in it. So Wellness Mama has recipes for sunscreen. That's what we've done. I just got lazy and I just do the sprayed coconut oil on it. I'm like, go get a can of coconut oil, and we take it with us everywhere. So on the really heavy days, like if we were going to be on the lake all day long or outside for a really long time, then I'll do the one that has zinc in it. So it's a little bit more protective. Seed oils are evil. Yes, they are. I completely agree. You can have our snow, right? Cleveland. Oh, yes, Ayana showing off in Vegas. Low 60s. Thanks so much. You're so sweet. Snow in Indiana. Yes. It's so funny. It's like, wait, I'm supposed to have this snow. And everyone else is getting my snow. Snow is all gone now. We don't have much. Like, it's supposed to be this really bad winter. So I'm wondering, I think last year, I think February and March actually had the biggest snowstorms. So they're going to be down with mom when I think we might get our big snowstorms. We'll see. Maybe the Farmer's Almanac was wrong and it's not supposed to be that bad. Woo! It keeps jumping. It's really funny. Aren't my girls adorable? Yes. Cassidy is, her mom is actually on right now. Cassidy is my stepdaughter. Bella is my biological daughter. And Cassidy is my bonus daughter. I get to play with her and have her half the time. Yeah. Bella's very sad that the kids are getting ready to leave. You have no sound. I wonder if you figured it out. Did you figure it out, Danny? B12 is the circadian vitamin. I want to get tested. I want to figure out where all of my vitamin levels are and everything. I have a health savings account, but I can't find the card to it because that would make sense. So as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to get tested and I want to see if I'm absorbing all of my B vitamins and where all of that is, because that's my guess, is that I'm not absorbing everything super well, which is why I'm starting to have some issues, which means that gut healing needs to happen and all kinds of other fun things. It's just on to the next experiment of everything. Don't you wonder if our illnesses are a combination of the additives in the vaccines, geoengineering, and terrible food on the market? I honestly do not believe that one thing is the culprit. I don't think so. I don't think that it's one thing's issue. I think that it's everything combined. And for some people, the GMOs are going to be a bigger problem than the oxalates are going to be. Or it's going to be the sugar is going to be a bigger problem. And I think that that's because, well, it's like, look at us. We all ate the standard American diet, but we all didn't have the same results. We didn't all have obesity. We didn't all have diabetes. We didn't all get cancer. We didn't all have depression, or we didn't all end up with Hashimoto's disease. We're so different, even though we were all eating the same thing. So I cannot say I think that one thing is worse than another, because I think for everybody it's different. So I would love to be able to say, just eat meat and anything from the animal kingdom and all of your problems will go away. I don't think that that's true, because we all ate standard American diet and we all ended up with different things that were wrong with us. So we can't all eat the same thing and expect the same thing to happen. We have to figure out what's going to work for us on an individual basis. For some people, all in carnivore literally kills and cures their cancer. And for other people, all in carnivore actually makes them sicker. So I 100% agree. It is a combination of a lot of things that are attacking us from every angle. And we have to try to figure out what works for us and what is our biggest trigger, what is our biggest problem. Like oxalates kind of suck for me, but nothing compared to how much they suck for my husband. He's the one that gets kidney stones and his skin is literally just covered in little oxalates coming out everywhere. And he'll get the styes worse than I do. So oxalates for him are worse. So, it's like, yes, I think it's a whole bunch of little things that are a problem. It's just which one is your biggest trigger. And testing to find out where you are along the way, I think is super important. But just, making little adjustments to see what works best is good for you. Yeah, I just do coconut oil. Coconut oil is okay, even though it's not meat-based. I know the skin is the largest organ, so whatever we put on it, it seeps into our bloodstream 100%. I look at the Pacific Islanders. They literally use coconut oil for everything and have for a very long time. Use it for their hair, for their skin, and in their food. I think genetics does play a part in what we are able to handle when we consume it or when we put it on our bodies. I think that people that have genetics that put their ancestors around the equator can handle more plant material. I think that they can actually find benefits from those. And then us who were like way up top. I'm German and Italian and Scottish and bunch. I'm Heinz 57 is what I am. I'm kind of a mess. But if you look at that area, there's not nearly as much vegetation as long as there is, say, around the equator. So I use coconut oil to take off my makeup. I use it as sunscreen. I don't actually consume it. I haven't for a while because I just have found that I feel better on animal-based fats. But if you want to include something, and I mean, MCT oil, which comes from coconut oil, has really good mental benefits. So I know some really strong, strict carnivores that will still do MCT oil if they think that their mental health could use a little bit of a boost. So I'm okay with coconut oil. I say try it and see how you feel when you use it. If you have any negative side effects, then obviously you shouldn't do that. Fake foods, improperly prepared foods. Oh, good Lord. And just the processed, so much stuff. Yeah, long fermented sourdough, same as Wonder Bread. I agree. So what's funny is I heard not long ago the story of corn and how we first ended up with corn. Well, when the Native Americans were eating and consuming corn, they actually had a process. They would pick the corn off the stalk and then they would soak the corn they would bury it in a lye ash for 2 to 3 days for it to begin to break down certain chemicals in the corn. And then they would process it for human consumption. Well, when we got corn, we didn't bring the process with us. We just got the ear of corn, cook it, and eat it. And it's not the same. So I think for some people, the super long fermented sourdough can be an option once you're healed. It's not going to facilitate healing. But once you are healed, if you wanted to include a long fermented sourdough, then I think that honestly would be perfectly acceptable. A lot of people thrive on raw milk. And that's one of the things I actually want to try. I would rather try raw dairy for my hair, although it's getting a little bit better. I actually found teeny tiny little, look at these. They're new. I was so excited. Anyways, I'm going to try raw dairy though. I think that's what I want to try, but in Wisconsin, it's like not allowed. So I'm going to have to try to be really sneaky about that. I think, see if I can find some raw dairy somewhere. But some people thrive on raw milk, and I would much rather you drink that than the pasteurized stuff. Diet Coke next day. I'm always an emotional wreck. Aspartame is evil. Oh my gosh, that is like the one sweetener that really kind of freaks me out. I do not like it. People in your chicken group think you're crazy. You have a chicken group? Oh, you feed your chickens organic, non-GMO, soy, corn-free. Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. And ferment it. Oh, yes. We started doing the fermented food, but it didn't go well. Like it over fermented and then we wasted a bunch and then we got out of the habit of it. I've got to get back into the fermenting of the chicken feed. I need to learn how. So, Carissa, you need to teach me how to do that. You should email me, carnivoresangel@gmail.com and teach me about fermenting chicken food because I need to learn how to do it. Supposedly, if you ferment it, you can feed them like half as much. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Because chicken feed is not exactly cheap. Lotions and cream made out of tallow. Yes. I haven't tried it myself. I need to try it. I really want to try it. Test, don't guess. Hello, Danny. Yes. I'm glad your sound is working now. N=1 experiments. Yep. Let me see. Danny. I know we all love Danny. Danny and Ayana. And if there's anyone else here, I didn't see anyone else. Danny and Ayana are both in my Mighty Network. Ayana is one of my moderators, and Danny is the other coach that is there. So these are some of my people. I love my people. Eyelid has been twitching for 2 weeks so far. I think the twitching was magnesium. I think if Danny is still on here, she can tell you whether or not it was magnesium. I think it was the magnesium for the eye twitching. Ancestral Keto Coach is Carissa, Facebook. And okay, yeah, we'll have to. Carissa, you need to teach me the ways of chickens because I'm still new to this. I still don't really know what I'm doing. Studying real estate. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Yeah. I know. I want to get functional testing. That'll be cool. Twitching eye, Redmond sea salt, and that helped. Ooh. Magnesium glycinate. Yeah. Combination. Oh, the electrolytes. They're fussy. Man, they are fussy. You got to get it just right. Skinny syrups are not for you. Wow, you get a rash? Oh, that's terrible. Teresa, don't do skinny syrups. Just don't do it. Yeah. Heinz 57. Oh, yeah. I'm a conglomeration of a whole bunch of stuff. Carissa doesn't like coconut. That's okay. You do not have to eat it then. I'm not here to tell you what you have to eat. Okay, well, I cannot believe it's almost been an hour. Oh my goodness. That is really funny. Yes, wood ash and then use it. I need to find raw milk. I need to find some. I don't know where to go. Ketovore for over a year now, and it did help my bursitis, but I didn't notice food affecting me either way. That's interesting. Did you try bringing the foods back in to see how you reacted to them when you brought them back in? Yeah, I'm not. I can't do the honey. I'm over the honey. I'm done. I tried it. You know, the animal-based people are all doing honey and fruit, and I was like, well, I want to see. I'm never going to learn if I don't try. I tried. I gave it a really good try. I'm done. No more honey. No, I'm good. No. Yes, Dr. Berry says that adults should not drink milk. However, if you have healing to do, there is actually a lot of really good benefits from drinking, especially raw milk, not the pasteurized crap. Yeah, the raw milk is different. It's on a whole different level. So if milk is the pasteurized crap that's in the store, then I wouldn't even call raw milk. I would call it something totally different. I know. New hair. Magnesium. Okay, cool. Okay, let me see. I should probably wrap this up because it's been an hour, y'all. It's been a really long time. Postmenopausal hair loss, girl. I've got premenopausal hair loss. I'm fighting that. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm also kind of wondering, I've had COVID 3 times in the last 2 years. So I'm wondering if that has to do with the hair loss too. I wonder. The hair loss thing, Danny is my person that I would be like, you need to talk to Danny and you need to get testing. She can do hair analysis to see what's going on and what you're lacking. Sometimes just adding a collagen can work. I don't have a really good collagen right now, unfortunately. I need to get a good collagen right now. One of these days. Blaze, I would say probably strengthening the muscles around the knee might help with the popping. You could also do there's a liquid collagen that can help with joints way better than a lot of the powdered collagens. I think it's made with chicken something. I don't remember. But that adding the liquid collagen and then strengthening your muscles around that knee may help. The collagen should help to rebuild the cartilage in your knee to be able to maybe help with the popping. Fermenting feed is very easy for chickens. Their crops do ferment some, so soaking 2-to-1 water to feed 24 to 72 hours. So smell like sourdough, not mold, sweet smell, not sour. I was trying, so we have 24 chickens. I was trying to do like the continuous fermentation and it didn't work. I ended up pouring it into the creek. So the fishies were really happy because it was like way over fermented. It was so bad. It was just too much. Oh my gosh, so I need to try again. Yep. So many different things. I got to try to find raw dairy. Get hormones tested functionally for optimal ranges. Yes, optimal ranges, not within range. No. Optimal ranges. Urine testing. Yeah, for some people, stevia really does affect your blood sugar. And it absolutely affects your insulin no matter what. So, yeah. Oxalates can absolutely cause itchy skin. Like really bad itchy skin. I have a patch right here that starts to itch really, really, really bad. And then I'll look and it'll be a little bit flaky. And sometimes I can see like the little oxalate crystals that are coming out of it. So it'll cause, Richard has spots on his back that have reappeared after being gone for a long time. They came back again. And that's when we went, fantastic, we're oxalate dumping again, which I've heard years 3 to 5 are kind of the nastiest with the dumping. So that sucks because we just started year 3. Fantastic. Raw milk is liquid gold and awesome for your immune system. Raw milk has made my nails ridiculously strong. I need to try the raw milk for the hair. I'm thinking it's a combination. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a combination of a whole bunch of stuff that's causing my hair to be iffy, but I have my babies. I do. I have my baby hair. I found him this morning and I almost cried. I was so happy. Yeah, hair loss and COVID, but I didn't have the fever. A lot of people said, oh, it's the fever that causes it, but I never had the fever. I lost my sense of smell and taste. I had a scratchy, itchy throat, and then I would like get the runs for 24 hours, maybe 48. The smell and taste, of course, that was like 2 weeks, but yeah. And oxalate dumping can also cause hair thinning because oxalates like to congregate in your head. So they will push out of your scalp and take hair with them. So fantastically helpful. Dr. Berry knows I disagree with him on the milk, right? I love Dr. Berry. Oh my gosh, do I love Dr. Berry? I love Dr. Berry and Nisha on so many levels. But there's some things that he say that I kind of go, I don't know about that. I think we might have to see about that because he said before, it's impossible for you to gain weight just eating meat and fat. Not true. I love you, Dr. Berry, but that is not true. Because if you are consuming 3,000 calories a day and you are sedentary and not moving and not doing anything throughout the day, which you should be doing something, then yeah, you're going to gain weight. And I've seen it time and time again, and I've done it where I can gain weight. So I think he makes those statements. And then later on, he's like, yeah, I said that and I was wrong. So I love that he's just so real about it. He's like, yeah, no, I was wrong. Which is That's why I love them, because they can admit, yeah, no, that's okay. And I get to go see them at the keto conference in Atlanta. I'm going to that. So if you guys haven't looked into that, or if you have the chance to go, then you should go do that, because then we can all hang out together for a little while. Richard and I are both going to go. Wisconsin allows the sale of raw milk on farm sale, whatever that means. I just have to find a local farm then, maybe. There's a lot of Amish around here. Let me go find some. I need some raw milk. Oh, I don't even know what it's going to do to me. I'm going to start slow, man. Ooh, maybe I could find some raw yogurt. I need to try making my own yogurt too. The sugar-free candies. Oh, yeah. The sugar-free ones usually always have aspartame in them. I let my kids have the stuff with the monk fruit and stevia. I still, minimize it. Hair loss. Yes, usually it's protein, iron, hormones, expanded thyroid. So I know. Danny cannot wait to get her fingers on me and get all the testing done so she can figure out exactly what's wrong with me. That's going to be fun. We'll get there someday when I order a new card, because I don't know where my card is, because that would make it too easy. You haven't had COVID yet, Beth? Seriously? Wow. That is cool. Oh my goodness. That is funny. I don't think I've met anyone who hasn't had COVID. I think everyone that I know has had COVID. Stress. Yep. Hormones. Yep. Mostly carnivore and do perfect keto collagen. Yep. Stress. Hormones. If your hormones aren't in the optimal range, 100%. Stress. Yeah. Everyone's pulling their hair out by the handfuls is what's happening. Okay. I'm going to let you guys go now. It's been an hour, and I'm sure that someone probably needs to use the internet, and the fact that we lasted this long is fantastic. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I'm going to try to do this every weekend just to kind of hang out and chat. So if ever you, probably on Saturdays around noon Central Standard Time, that is my current plan. We will see. I actually have it on my calendar. I have it in my phone so that it alerts me, hey, yo, you're supposed to go live here pretty soon, because this I actually really enjoy hanging out with everyone and just kind of chatting, and especially if my internet works. So thank you so much, guys. Yes, Jeanette, I'll see you on Saturday with your babies. They're looking forward to not having to do farm chores. Yeah, they're like, I don't want to do the animal chores anymore. I'm like, yeah, you get a month break. So they're going to love that. So, okay. Thanks so much, guys. We will be in touch in all of the different places. So, yep, I'm being summoned. We'll see you guys later. Bye.